Hey guys, welcome back to the Cult Classic Kid Show, and today we have to talk about Square Enix because I have a serious question. I think it's time to assess this, I guess mid-generation in regards to PlayStation, Xbox, whatever have you, or ninth gen, I guess. Um, is Square Enix okay? Like, are they doomed? Is it over? Like, are they going down the toilet? Like, should we be concerned? I really think that there's cause for concern because this has been one of the most dog shit generations for Square Enix, at least that I've seen within my lifetime in paying attention to gaming in a relatively reasonable way. You know, there's been times where I really didn't pay attention to gaming, especially when I was younger. But is there cause for concern? Is there reason to believe that Square Enix is in some serious trouble? Because given how this generation's gone, find it very hard to believe that Final Fantasy 7 14 is keeping them, um, in the good graces of gaming financially, especially. While Final Fantasy 14 is a huge success, it's about to get a massive update, a visual overhaul, and all that. Is it really the only thing that's able to basically keep Square Enix from going under? Like I really have to ask that question because when we have two potential flops to discuss just within this year alone, just within the past, couple of months. And it really pains me to have to discuss this because I do like Square Enix. I'm highly anticipating multiple of their games, and I'm really hoping that they don't flop. I'm really, really highly anticipating Visions of Mana, a Dragon Quest 12, Dragon Quest 3 remake. These are games that I have been dying to play. These are games they announced Dragon Quest 3 remake and Dragon Quest 12 years ago. I'm still waiting and I'm still like, "Oh my god, please." And I'm hoping that they don't flop, but there is huge cause for concern with Square Enix because, well, this is from Push Square. PSN data says Foamstars' future is bleak just 2 months after release. And look, it's no secret that this game was going to flop. Okay, I predicted that the game was going to literally go the same way of Destruction All Stars. I mean, it has stars in the name. It was going to PS Plus day and date. The interest just wasn't there for this game. I tried the beta, dog shit video game. Um, just judging from the beta, it wasn't that it didn't work, whatever. It was just that it was just not a very good video game, and I couldn't even see, and that's saying a lot, saying, being I was playing on a 65-inch TV, 4K, HDR, all the bells and whistles. It's crazy to say that I actually couldn't see what was going on in the video game, but to continue, released on the 6th of February and available day one through PS Plus Essential, Foamstars has reportedly seen its player numbers completely fall off a cliff over the past couple of months, and there was definitely some huge cap for that game. Like, motherfuckers was capping heavy, and we probably gonna bring up a couple of them, this Thursday, 8 p.m. on the excuse me, on the Twilight Zone of Gaming, where we discuss the insanity that is the gaming space. We definitely got a couple of clowns to bring up that was capping for this game, so definitely stay tuned for that. Come hang out with me in the chat there. But as researched by True Trophies, and look, it's True Trophies. It's not official numbers, but I wouldn't be surprised if this kind of is gauging the truth of the video game. It said using PSN gameplay data, the stylized PS5 and PS4 shooter has now lost around 95% of its player count since launch within 2 months. In 2 months, guys, it's rough. It is absolutely rough, and of course, it doesn't help that Foamstars released just 2 days before Helldivers 2. Yeah, it's almost like PlayStation sabotages the game. Helldivers 2 is doing really, really well, and placed in Foamstars dead. And really, are we gonna sit here and pretend that this is likely not the case? I mean, who's really talking about Foamstars other than to say, yeah, that game came and went and died immediately out of the gate, and it's dead now. That's the only thing we're talking about when it comes to this game. Even the people that were capping for it, they ain't really capping for it anymore, or they're playing the blame game, which is really funny. But to move on to a game that is really surprising to me, and it's sad that potentially this game really isn't doing well in terms of sales numbers, we have to talk about Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth. Because apparently the sales reportedly aren't going too well. And they said Final Fantasy VII Rebirth sales are underperforming, according to Daniel Almond, Director of Research and Insight at Nico Partners. Square Enix has yet to release official sales figures, so, obviously take with a grain of salt. But there's definitely reason to believe that this is the case. They said, but citing reports from the usual data trackers used by firms, Ahmad says Rebirth is well behind its predecessor, Final Fantasy VII Remake. That's rough, man. And this is crazy because this is a game that so many people I know are highly anticipating, we're super hyped for, still playing, or have already beat and said it's amazing. So crazy that a game that has great word of mouth for the most part, that it's a vibrant, beautiful, fun game, from what I've heard, isn't doing well. And they said, what's going on with Final Fantasy VII Rebirth sales? In response to a Twitter exchange regarding Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, in which a random user brought up the game's sales, Ahmad said that Rebirth is selling about half of what Remake sold within the same time frame. The veteran industry analysts also theorized that Rebirth will have a weaker tail. However, this may change if Sony releases the game as part of PS Plus at some point. And you know what? There was so much hype about this. I thought it was going to do at least close to Remake's numbers, but it can't be denied that there's definitely a lot of people that are really close to the original Final Fantasy VII that didn't like Remake. I get it. I personally played Remake and I enjoy it, but I'm not a longtime fan of Final Fantasy VII like a lot of other people are. And to be fair, I could have been playing this game on my PC, but Square Enix wants to do deals with PlayStation, and the reality is the PS5 install base is a lot smaller than the PS4 install base was when Final Fantasy VII Remake originally came out. And that was a time during lockdowns, people, just desperate to be on gaming while, they basically had a lot of their freedom stripped away from them. But there's plenty of reasons why this is the case, and really, I have to just blame Square Enix for it. This is Square Enix's fault. They should have definitely made sure that this game was going to be on more than one platform. And really, if you're going to do exclusives, make them just console exclusives, because PlayStation 5 isn't going to save you. That's just, it is what it is. And make good games and make sure that you do the right thing by your gamers, man. But it's kind of sad. It's sad to see, because I'm actually, I would have picked up this game. It's one of those things where when there's so many games out right now, so many games to choose from, I don't have enough time. I still have barely gotten to Dragon's Dogma 2. I'm not ready to dive into that right now. But in this climate, if you think that I'm going to go out of my way to buy a video game on a platform I don't really care about, being the PS5, over getting the game on Steam where I want to play my games, you're insane. You're absolutely insane. If this was a different time period, if this was like a launch, the launch time of 9th gen or whatever, and there was really not much to choose from, then yeah, I would give in and say, F it, let me just buy it and have some fun. But there's a lot of competition out here. There's really no reason for me to be buying this game on a platform that I couldn't give two fucks about. But I mean, there's also a lot of other games that have fallen severely short, complete flops, or just lackluster releases from Square Enix. Stuff like Balan Wonderworld, complete total flop, an abomination of a video game that should have been a tax write-off. And Square Enix released that for some fucking ungodly reason. Then you have Neo, The World Ends With You. Heard it's a decent game. Nobody bought it though, so that's another one that underperformed. Let me see. I'm trying to look for some other games. We got Babylon's Fall, the Platinum Games game. Absolute total flop. Absolute total flop. Strangers of Paradise, I think, had a very lukewarm reception. People didn't really care for it that much, and it seems like those that played the game didn't mind it for whatever reason. Some people like that Team Ninja combat, so the people that bought it, that were knowing what they were getting into, I think that they liked it, but also not really a great reception by any means. Very lukewarm. There's also a lot of games that Square Enix has released that were AA games, and they still chose to put them at pretty high price tags. Like Live Alive a game that I'm really interested in came to Nintendo Switch, and I believe it's on PC as well too, but it's like a $50 game, and pixel art style, it should have been like $30, man. Like, let's be real now. Valkyrie Elysium, a game I was quite interested in. Also kind of high in price, not, lukewarm reception. Really wasn't interested in paying that kind of money to try out that game. Star Ocean Divine Force, very lukewarm reception. Garbage PC port. Not buying because of that. Otherwise, I would have, since it's a Star Ocean game. Harvestella, another interesting game. Expensive for no fucking ungodly reason. Didn't buy it because of that. Dragon Quest Treasure came to PC after a year being exclusive to Nintendo Switch. Is a $50 game. Played it. Is an absolute garbage video game. An abomination to be a spinoff to Dragon Quest 11. Returned it. At most, it's a $25 game. It is what it is. Sorry, not sorry. Another flop. Forspoken. Garbage video game. Terrible release. Exclusive to, console exclusive to PS5. Another very, very disappointing video game. What else we got? Star Ocean, the second story art. A really interesting video game. A really sexy pixel art video game if you're into that. I believe it's a remake of Star Ocean 2, if I'm not mistaken. Was really interested in that game, but it's like $50. It's a pixel art style video game. It's something that I would have been more comfortable buying at the $40 price tag, especially in, like I said, a very crowded release schedule of video games. And even stuff like Dragon Quest, excuse me. What was it? The Dragon Quest game? I forget which one it was. Oh my gosh, no. Oh yes, Dragon Quest Monsters, The Dark Prince. Really interested in that game. Exclusive to Nintendo Switch. Okay, I'll pass. And then when you look at the gameplay of the Nintendo Switch, it's like, this is a cool game because it's kind of like Pokemon, but with Dragon Quest. But it runs like complete dog shit on the Nintendo Switch. I'm good, brother. Like, I'm good. I'm so good. It's been a lot of nonsense from Square Enix over the past few years. This has been one of the most lackluster generations from this company. A lot of upsets, a lot of flops, a lot of lukewarm reception, a lot of playing exclusive games with motherfuckers, and people just saying, well, go fuck yourself, pretty much, it seems like to me. Anyway. I have to wonder, is Final Fantasy XIV really gonna continue to drag their dying carcass along? How much longer can that possibly be? To be fair, Final Fantasy XIV is getting a massive overhaul, so we'll see, but I mean, it's something that they needed desperately. And not for nothing, also, another thing I'd like to add, this is like anecdotal to me. Their games are really expensive for no reason, and then their sales are garbage. So their sales are like the price that most of their games should be at, but aren't. And then it just doesn't really entice me to want to buy a lot of their games, even despite that. But yeah, Square Enix, you need to humble yourself. You're not Nintendo. Matter of fact, you guys are far from it. But yeah, guys, let me know what you think about this. I'm really disappointed to see Final Fantasy, 7 Rebirth doing poorly. Hopefully it doesn't go to Epic Game Store in a year. Because then, fuck you, I'll just wait for it to come to Steam. So more money, you can take the bag from Epic, but you ain't gonna get my money until it comes to Steam. Guys, let me know what you think about Square Enix, the state of the company, how it's been this generation in comparison to others. Really interested to hear your thoughts, because these are my thoughts. I'm concerned with this publisher. But yeah, guys, let me know what you think about this in the comment section down below. If you can, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, follow me over on Twitter, Kick, if you'd like to continue the conversation. Consider becoming a channel member. Gets you instant access to the Discord, gets you Ziggy emotes. Join me this Thursday. Use those Ziggy emotes, man, for the Twilight Zone of gaming, where I talk to you guys and hang out with you guys, and we have a good time clowning people and just going over the general news. And yeah, guys, it's a fun time, so definitely would love to see you there. And merch store is in the description below, so check that out. You can get some dope ass merch, and I am wearing my hat just backwards. But yeah, guys, with that being said, I'm out. Peace.